What's the biz, everybody? It's your boy Baker Maker, aka Dansley, and I'm here to give you some true shit. So, I'm actually here to give a movie review for once. I hope to do more of that, more often, going forward on this channel. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness film, which has been what, I think it's been 2 weeks now since I watched that movie. And yeah, I got to see it, and I got to see it in IMAX, which was a treat. And basically, yeah, I had a great time watching it. And watching it in IMAX definitely added added to the experience. It's good to see that Sam Raimi direct another comic book movie. This one, much like the Spidey films he directed, had a lot of campy moments. But again, if you grew up with those films, then you'll feel right at home. Of course, there's definitely a lot more horror elements sprinkled in throughout this one, and tons, and I do mean tons of madness. I have never watched any of Raimi's non-Spidey films myself, but I had heard prior to watching this movie that Raimi has had a history of directing horror films, or at least horror-esque movies, which I would have totally bought even before watching this movie, because I remember that scene from Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock's tentacles in the hospital, and I've always said for years that scene felt like it came straight out of a horror flick. It just definitely checks out on the whole Raimi's history with horror films. This was definitely one of the most visually pleasing MCU films of all time. Again, you have to see this in IMAX. You're not doing yourself a service if you're just watching it in regular, in the screens or whatever, or watching it bootleg. This movie has also got to be one of the most visually haunting, especially at the climax. Not to mention that there are some really brutal deaths in this movie. Raimi didn't show any mercy for some of these characters. OMG. There will be moments in the moments where some of you might feel like the movie is going too fast, and certain writing decisions some of you might not agree with. With that said, this movie does indeed have some cameos, and some of those rumored cameos did indeed come true. However, there are others that did not come true. And I'll also say this. Some of those big speculation theory views you saw on YouTube, some of it came true, but at the same... So, like, I'll say this right now. You guys probably got what you wanted, but it came with a price. I'll just say that. Without spoiling any more. But that's, like I said, I'll just leave that all up to you to figure out which of those rumors I'm referring to. Anyways, Elizabeth Olsen absolutely killed it through her performance as Scarlet Witch. But I must warn y'all that if y'all still haven't watched WandaVision, you might be a little lost, despite the fact that the movie does reference some scenes from the series, and there are scenes in this movie that might not have that much of an emotional impact on you unless you have watched the Disney Plus series. But honestly, you should go ahead and just watch the series anyways, especially if you're a fan of Wanda Maximoff's character, because I honestly feel like it really did a good job of developing her and explaining why she's so damn powerful. And this movie really serves as a continuation for her story. As for the man himself, Dr. Stephen Strange, he has slowly become one of my favorite characters throughout the MCU. So it was cool to see him star in his own movie again. His story kind of mirrors Wanda's to a certain degree. There's a point where he kind of goes through a similar situation make a point where he could have made the same choice as Wanda does in the movie, but he goes down. Let's just say both him and Wanda go down different paths from one another. Let's just say that. But yeah, the new character introduced in this movie, America, was a nice addition, and seeing her use her superpowers were always a delight. Now, even though I've seen mostly positive reviews, I am very aware that there are some who weren't too happy with this movie. A lot of hype was surrounding this movie. A lot of expectations based on rumors. A lot of the disappointment came from those rumors. Some, like I said before, some of those rumors turned out true, while others didn't. Unfortunately, there are certain, like I said again, there were certain creative decisions made in this movie that some people might not have agreed with. I'm, like I said, this movie ain't perfect. There were some I felt like I wouldn't necessarily agree with either, but you know, as I figured, this movie turned out to be a divisive movie, which I was very good, which I figured would happen. But as far as I'm concerned, this was a good movie. I definitely recommend it if you're like. I think this is a way better movie. Like I enjoyed the first Doctor Strange, but I think this one was way better. I have more of an enjoyment value with this one than the last one. Like I said, I enjoyed this movie. I'd watch it again if given the chance. And yeah, I'd give it like maybe I don't know an 8 out of 10 probably. Yeah, an 8 out of 10. Like I said, it's like probably one of the most visually stunning films I've watched in a comic book movie. Like I said, you got to see Sam Raimi do his stuff, do his horror-esque in these movies, which is cool. But like I said, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like these, and make sure to click on that notification bell if you want to be notified whenever I upload anything. And tell me what you thought of the movie, and please give your comments. Do not spoil the movie, please. This was mostly a spoiler-free review, so please do not leave any spoilers in the comments. Just voice your opinion on the movie. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? And that's it. Stay beast.